Hey everybody, welcome back to our Labyrinth playthrough, Solitaire playthrough here. We're up to turn 4 of what's turning into an exciting little match of the US versus these jihadists. Jihadists managed to get some operatives into the US last turn. They did a plot, we resolved it. Plot went off in Jordan and reduced its governance. Pakistan, cells are starting to move into Pakistan, which I think we need to move that to good as soon as possible. Somalia is an ally. We can disrupt there. It costs a lot with their poor situation. But let's see. Otherwise, the jihadists had 8 cards this hand. The U.S. has 9. U.S. has done a much better job of keeping troops off the board, which is good. U.S. prestige is at +1. I think that's it. So let's run through the U.S. hand. U.S. hand is much better than last time. Special Forces, Mass Turnout, CTR, UN Nation Building, Anbar Awakening. The unassociated events are the U.S. election, which always has to get played, former Soviet Union, so U.S. election, former Soviet Union, Zarqawi, and the only jihadist card we have is Ugar Jihad. All right, so let's get started. First jihad card. Saddam captured. So, Saddam captured is play if troops in Iraq. There are no troops in Iraq. So this is a playable non-US event? No. Playable US event? No. Major jihad success possible is not possible. Jihad possible in good or fair? Yes. Pakistan. Pakistan and that's it, right? That's the only fair. So 1 in Pakistan. And then radicalization after that, at that point, I believe. Yeah, so Pakistan. Minor jihad. Hopefully this fails. This will be bad. So they need a 2 or 1. They rolled a 5. So they are jihading, right? So the jihad makes them go away. They remove the cell. Good. And you do not place a cadre. All right, so that goes up there. Pakistan is now in the clear. In the clear. And then the second op, they're going to put a random cell in a country with radicalization. 4 brown, 5 black. 4 brown, 5 black. Sudan. Oh, interesting. They haven't gone there yet. So we roll for governance. It's a 1, so it becomes poor. And that guy goes right there. And they get 1 more country. That's it. Reminding everybody again, the win conditions are the U.S. does not win by cell elimination. 6 Islamist resources is a jihadi win. The U.S. loses if the game ends with fewer than 6 good resources in our 1-deck game. So we need 6 good resources. It doesn't matter how many good countries they have, or poor countries. We need to stop them from getting Islamist rule is the problem. All right, so I think that's it. I was just reviewing what the board actually says. I think that is correct. Let me know, of course, if I'm wrong. Okay, so that was their first one. They used 1 op to do jihad in Pakistan. They failed. They moved back. 1 is radicalization. Cell moved into Sudan. Back channel. Play if the U.S. is soft and you have another card of exact value. Okay, well, the U.S. is not soft on terror. So that is going to be the same thing. It's going to be a playable U.S. event. No. Major jihad possible. No. Jihad possible in good or fair? No. Cells available? No. Travel. So they're going to travel. Travel a whole bunch. Okay, so 2, 1 cell each. Non-Islamic regime with besieged regime change, then aid. So that would be Pakistan. A poor country where major jihad would be possible with plus some 2 troops. We don't have that because they need 3 troops. Right? That would make them 7. Yes, they need 3 troops. So right now it looks like Pakistan is 1. Good or fair Muslim country where a cell is adjacent. So Gulf states would be the second one. If U.S. hard, unmarked, non-Muslim. So they'd move... they'd move something else, and it looks like highest resource. So Egypt would be the next thing to go. Okay. So the first one is Gulf states. These happen automatically. The second one is... does the Pakistan happen even... So from Islamist rule with cells greater than ops. That can't happen there. Then regime change with... No. Then adjacent country. So I think Iran would go to Pakistan. Like that. The other ones are Egypt. So let's get Egypt out of the way. It's one of these two. 1 to 3, 4 to 6. It's a 5, so Sudan is going to move. We roll Egypt's posture. It's a 1, which is poor. Okay, and when traveling, you do not place cadres when you travel, I believe. That would make sense. Cadre. I'm just going to look that up real quick. I don't think you would. I don't think it would make much sense. Cadre. Keep cadres near the map. Whenever the last cell in the country without it is removed by a disrupt or event, not jihad or travel. Okay, so you don't put anything down. That stays like that. That was 1, 2. We now need to figure out what the third thing is. So we did the aid. There are no poor countries with major jihad as possible with +2 cells. Good or fair country. We did that one to Pakistan. U.S. hard, unmarked, non-Muslim. Oh, good or fair country with cell adjacent. Is that possible? No, I don't think it's possible. Do they only move between... Yeah, good or fair Muslim country. Okay, so they can't move in Europe. They can... Sorry, this travel... I think travel is the most confusing of the sort of AI flowcharts, because you do one cell in each thing, and they have to come from different places, I think. So you sort of have to sort it out. So we did the aid. We did the good or fair. So poor country is not possible. U.S. hard, unmarked and non-Muslim. No, we did that one. So we did one of those. So good or fair country with Muslim, good or fair country adjacent. No, because they can't get into the Gulf states. So they can't do anything there. So then random. And random travel. Random travel. Sorry, this one's taking a little bit of time. I gotta look at the rule book here. Travel. Select all destinations. If operations remain, select to travel randomly for travel with that number of cells. Within the bulleted categories above, select Pakistan first from among those with highest resources. Okay. So these are the cells that are possible to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's see what country they're coming from. 2. 1, 2. They're going to a random country. And their travel priority, Pakistan, then highest resource. Okay, so they're going to try to travel to Pakistan. They need to roll a 2. This guy is in Libya. Need to roll a 2 or less. They rolled a 6, so he failed. So he goes up there. Up there. That was a lot to do about nothing. Okay, I think we're all set. I think I did that correctly. Let me know if not. And those are the two jihadist card plays. So that's that. US's turn. What is the US going to do? The US desperately wants Pakistan. We need Zarqawi. We need troops in Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, or Jordan. That would be nice. Country's posture is hard. It affects 2 cells. We could kill the cells in the US, which is probably the best thing to do, right? You got to get rid of those guys. So... oh boy. And what did I say about cadres? Do cadres disrupt an event? You place cadres. Alright, so predator drones play, or special forces place cadres. And they have to be adjacent to a country with troops, don't they? Okay, I'm going to play CTR for the ops. It's a 1-op card. I'm going to disrupt in the US. The US is hard, so we get rid of these 2 cells. We place a cadre. Okay, and that's that for now. That'll clear up that problem. The second US card. We are going to... what are we going to do? Troops in Iraq or Syria, no. Play for countries marked with regime change, no. I have a lot of US cards that can't do anything. I think we want to get Pakistan going. Right? I think so. So we're going to play former Soviet Union, 2-up card. We're going to roll War of Ideas in Pakistan. War of Ideas at this point is attempting shift to good, yes, -1, GWAT, relationship penalty, no penalty. US prestige is +1, so we're at 0, net 0. Each aid marker is +1, each adjacent good, so we're at 2, +2. We rolled a 4, which becomes a 6, which is a success. So the aid marker goes away. The good resources move up. And if success, you shift it to, if to good, remove all regime change, besieged regime, and aid markers. So the cell stays there, which is fine, but we have a good country now. So I think I'm happy with that turnout. Step by step, you know? All right, those are the 2 cards. Jihadist turn. Homegrown. It is a playable event. Place a cell in the United Kingdom. So we roll the UK's posture. They rolled a 6, so they're hard. Which is good. Now we're at +3 because the UK, Israel, India... am I missing somebody? Oh, Scandinavia. There we go. So UK, Scandinavia, India, and Israel are 4. And Caucasus or Caucasus or whatever the fuck it's called is soft, so it's at 3. Okay, that's that one. Next card. Al Jazeera. Play if Saudi Arabia or an adjacent country has troops. They don't, which is interesting because Somalia is not adjacent to Saudi Arabia. So it's a... playable non-US event, no. Playable US event, no. So major jihad possible, no. Jihad possible in good or fair, yes. So minor jihad in Pakistan. And that's it. Minor jihad. Good among fair. Right? Among poor, then radicalization. Yeah, so it's just there. We roll 1 dice. They need a 1? They need a 1. They rolled a 5. It failed. That cell goes away. Now, because Al Jazeera is a 3-up card, the card before this was homegrown. Al Jazeera is the card we're doing now. They have 2 ops remaining, so they're going to travel to a random country. Brown 3, black 2. Brown 3, black 2 is Caucasus. Oh, Jesus, they're going to have me say this everything. It's already marked. Doesn't do anything. Next one is travel through the flowchart. 2, besieged regime. Regime change, then aid. None of that. Poor country where jihad is possible if +2 cells. Major jihad, no. Good or fair Muslim country with cell adjacent. That would be Afghanistan. Right? Islamist rule with cells, no. Regime change, no. Then adjacent country. Okay, so yeah, they'd come from Afghanistan. And they would travel into Pakistan. All right, those are the 2 ops. U.S. turn now. Now I don't know if you deal with the cells that are moving into Pakistan, if it's worth it at this point. I am going to, sorry, people are yelling outside. What am I going to do? I'm going to try to roll some things, right? What do I need? I don't want to play the U.S. election. Things are going very well for me at this point. Instead, I'm going to I could play special forces, but the disrupt gives me the benefit. Did I disrupt last time? No. He jihaded. That's why he got out of there. Okay, so my prestige is exactly where it should be. Maybe I would... Maybe I need to do turnout in Somalia? Let's do a War of Ideas in Somalia. Mass turnout is the card. With a War of Ideas, we're not attempting to shift to good. So, no. Prestige is +1. No relationship penalty. Each aid marker, no. Adjacent good ally, no. So we're at just 1. Yes, +1 because of the prestige. +1. Rolled a 6. So that's a 7 total. So that becomes a fair country. Fair ally is good. And those adjust 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, 1, 2, 3. All right, that's good. That's good news for us. Next, we're going to play Anbar Awakening for the ops, and they're going to disrupt. We played Anbar Awakening. The first card was Mass Turnout. This is Anbar Awakening. We're going to disrupt in Somalia. It's a 2-up card, so we get rid of 2 cells. We gain a prestige. And things are much more stable in Somalia at this point. So that's good. We're doing pretty well, I think. Those are the 2 US cards. No plots to resolve, so on to the jihadi. Tony Blair, set UK posture to that of the US. It's a playable US event. So they plot with it. And with plots as much as possible in the US, no cells. Prestige low, no. Philippines, no. Countries with troops, Somalia. So I guess you were plot priorities. If they're ops, which they are. Yes, it's so the plot priority for ops is fair than good. So you don't do it in Pakistan. You do here. It's 2 ops and it's 2 cells, so they're going to do both in Somalia. They roll 2 dice. They need 2 or 1. They rolled a 5 and a 4, which is huge. It's absolutely huge that happened. Otherwise, Somalia would have been a big setback for us. So they're done with Tony Blair. Next card, Darfur. It's a playable... Darfur is a playable non-US event. Yes, it does not place recruit cells now. So you play the event, test Sudan. Sudan is already tested, so we don't need to do that. If prestige high or very high, yes, place 1 aid in Sudan. One aid in Sudan and shift a box toward ally. That's good for us. If not, place besiege regime and shift towards. Okay, good. So the Sudan is in a better shape for us. That backfired on them pretty horribly. So it's an unassociated event. We played it. Major jihad possible? No. Jihad possible in good or fair? Yes. And it's a 3-up card. So it looks like they're going to do Pakistan and then Somalia. So let's do Pakistan first. They need a 1. This is jihad too. They rolled a 3, so that failed. Now they're doing Somalia with their other 2 dice. They need 2s. They rolled a 1 and a 2. So it reduces Somalia to a poor country. Both cells there are already active. And they both worked. Worsen governance toward poor and remove an aid marker. There's no aid marker in Somalia. Do not worsen to Islamist rule or shift alignment. So that's it. Those are them. And that was all 3. 1 in Pakistan didn't work. Somalia was the other one. So that's the jihadist turn. U.S. turn. What does the U.S. want to do? I have the U.S. election card. I think what I want to do do I regime change Afghanistan at this point? Is that worth it? If I regime change there, I don't know if that's worth it. Somalia is expensive at this point. I don't want to play this U.S. election card, but we're going to have to at some point. So I couldn't regime change if we go soft. If we go soft and the world is hard, this is horrific. So let's try to do that the very last thing. I don't know what to do. What does the U.S. want to do? The U.S. wants to shift the U.S. wants to shift one of these things. They want to shift something that's adjacent. Maybe Saudi Arabia, because we're adjacent to a good country. Might be a good idea. It has a ton of resource value. Okay. We're going to try to shift. Is that smart at this point? I'm kind of confused about whether or not that's an intelligent thing to do. I don't think so. What's the best case scenario here? Best case, I think, is Sudan, maybe? No, that's a 3. There's no Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, or Jordan troops. Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, or Jordan, no. U.S. electorate, nation building. Nation building. All right, well, we have to do U.S. election, I think, at this point. All right, so we'll do that first. So we roll the U.S. posture. This might be a bad idea. We'll have to see. Roll posture. If you set U.S. posture, +1 to roll. 3. +1 is 4. So soft. That's too bad. U.S. goes soft. We're at a huge relations penalty at this point. I don't know if this was the right thing to do. Everything is backfiring. And then we roll -1 prestige, or you get -1 prestige from this. So you roll posture. If the GWAT penalty is 0, +1. If not, -1 prestige. So we need to get the world back on our side, which is interesting. Okay, so do we want to do that first? I think we should, right? I am going to I need to shift. Maybe I'll just do that next time and shift everything to hard. In the meantime, I'll do these cell things. I'm going to play Special Force. Yeah, I'll play Special Forces and remove a cell from Afghanistan. Is that really the best? Somalia is probably best, right? Somalia. Okay, that's it. That's the US's second turn. No plots to resolve. Final two jihad cards. Islamic Jihad Union. Place a cell each in Central Asia and Afghanistan. So let's roll Central Asia. It's a 6, which is fair. Okay, that's that. Second card. Wahhabism. Add the number on Saudi Arabia's governance to funding or set to 9 if Islamist rule. That's in Saudi Arabia, right? If Islamist rule of Saudi Arabia. So I think they get 3. It doesn't matter either way because they end up at 9. Well, that's too bad. Added that event. Okay, those are those two done. The US now can the US is going to I want to see if I can change the GWAT relations the next turn with a couple 3s. So I don't want to do that. What can I do with 2s? I have this jihad card, Uyghur Jihad, that I want to get rid of. Zarqawi, I wish I could play it. Just can't. Nation building can't be played. So I have to just use reserve. So I'm going to play UN Nation building as reserve. With my second card, I'll play Zarqawi for the ops. Use up all the reserves. And I'm going to... Do I want to do Somalia or Central Asia? Well, no, if I did Central Asia... I'm sorry, I'm taking that back. So I'm going to play Nation Building, roll a dice in Central Asia, see if I can shift it with a War of Ideas. Not shifting good. Oh, the GWAT relations penalty is going to kill me. I can't do that. Never mind. I can't do this anywhere. Terrible. I can disrupt. They're going to disrupt. So I'll do exactly what I said before. UN nation building in Zarqawi, and we're going to disrupt in Somalia. So we get +1 bonus War of Ideas. Cell's gone. Cadre goes there. And that's it. And the US is going to discard this final card. That wasn't terrible. We're going to lose prestige because of the War of Ideas because of GWA relations, but that's really the best you could hope for. No resolved plots. I think that's it. That's it for the turn. All the cards are gone. So let's reset everything. -1 funding, -1 prestige. Remove lapsing events, reserves to 0. Deal new hands and all that. All right, I think that's it. Well, we're in good shape, I think. We need to clean something up. We need to either take Saudi Arabia or something as the U.S. We need to do the GWAT relations. We need to flip back to hard after this on the next hand. You need 2 3-ops cards to do that. And it's going to be a waste, but I think it's what we got to do. All right. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the content, I'd appreciate you hitting that like button. Leave a comment and let me know what I screwed up. I'm sure I screwed up a whole bunch of stuff. But thank you guys for watching. And I'll be back soon with the next turn in our Labyrinth Solitaire playthrough. See ya.